My mother went delusional over my pregnancy. She calls it her baby, decorated a nursery at her house, and told everyone she's the second mom. When she showed up to my appointment, I finally ended it. The moment I told my mother I was pregnant, something shifted in her eyes. It wasn't joy, it was ownership. I was 8 weeks along when I shared the news. My husband Ryan and I had been trying for 2 years. We were so very excited. My mother's first words weren't congratulations. They were, finally. I've been waiting for this my whole life. That should have been my first warning. Within a week, she started referring to my baby as her baby, not her grandchild, her baby. She'd call me daily with instructions. Make sure you're taking the right vitamins. I read that the ones you're using aren't good enough. I ordered better ones. They should arrive by Tuesday. I told her my doctor approved my vitamins. She said doctors don't know everything and mothers know best. She meant herself. At 12 weeks, we found out we were having a girl. I made the mistake of telling my mother before we announced it publicly. By the time I got home, she'd already told her entire side of the family and all her coworkers. She also told them the name, a name we hadn't picked. I decided she should be called Dorothy after my grandmother. I told her we weren't naming our daughter Dorothy. She laughed. You'll come around. I already ordered a blanket with her name on it. I told Ryan about the conversation. He thought she would calm down eventually. She didn't calm down. She got worse. At 16 weeks, my mother invited me to her house for lunch. When I arrived, she led me upstairs to the spare bedroom. She'd turned it into a nursery. Pink walls, a white crib, a rocking chair, stuffed animals everywhere, a wooden sign above the crib that said Dorothy's room. I stood in the doorway unable to speak. I wanted it to be a surprise. This is where she'll sleep when she stays with me. I'm going to take her every weekend so you can rest. I told her our daughter wouldn't be staying overnight anywhere. She waved her hand. That's what you think now. But when she's here, you'll be begging me to take her. I raised you, remember? I left without eating lunch. Over the next few weeks, she signed up for parenting classes at the hospital. Not grandparenting classes, parenting classes. She told the instructor she was the baby's second mother and would be the primary caregiver while I worked. I only found out because a nurse mentioned it. Your mom is so involved. It's sweet that she's taking classes with you. I wasn't taking classes with her. I didn't even know she'd enrolled. When I confronted her, she said someone had to know what they were doing since I'd never raised a baby before. She started telling people I had agreed to move back into her house after the birth. She told my aunt that Ryan wasn't capable of helping because men don't understand babies. She told my cousin she would be in the delivery room coaching me through labor. I never agreed to any of this. When I told her she would not be in the delivery room, she cried for hours. She called my father and made him tell me I was breaking her heart. She showed up at my house with a 40-page binder with schedules and feeding plans. At 32 weeks, I had a routine appointment. I was in the waiting room when my mother walked in. She sat down next to me like it was normal. I called and found out when your appointment was. I want to talk to your doctor about the birth plan. I stared at her. How did you get my appointment time? I told them I was your mother and that I was your emergency contact. She wasn't my emergency contact. Ryan was. She'd lied her way into my medical information. Something inside me went cold. I stood up, walked to the reception desk, and asked to speak with someone. I told them my mother was not authorized to receive any information about me. I had them flag her name. Then I walked back to the waiting room. You need to leave. Her face crumpled. What are you talking about? I'm here to support you. You lied to get my medical information. You've been telling people things I never agreed to. You decorated a nursery for a baby that won't be staying at your house. You called yourself the second mother. This is my baby. Mine and Ryan's, not yours. She started crying right there in the waiting room. I just love her so much already. I just want to be involved. You don't want to be involved. You want to take over, and I'm done letting you. I told her she wouldn't be at the hospital when I gave birth. She wouldn't be visiting for the first 2 weeks. If she couldn't respect boundaries, she wouldn't have a relationship with my daughter at all. She called me cruel. She called me ungrateful. She said I was ruining the happiest time of her life. I didn't argue. I just repeated myself. 2 weeks minimum, and the nursery needs to go. She didn't speak to me for a month. My father called twice to mediate. I told him the boundaries stood. My daughter was born 7 weeks later, healthy and perfect. Her name is Clara, not Dorothy. My mother met her at 3 weeks old. She held her for 10 minutes, then asked when Clara would be sleeping over. I said we'd talk about it when Clara was older. That was 6 months ago. My mother still pushes. She still hints. She still calls Clara my baby when she thinks I'm not listening. But she doesn't get weekends. She doesn't get overnights. She doesn't get to take over. Clara already has a mother, and I'm doing just fine.